Hello and welcome to this week's video regarding interpersonal relationships and interpersonal communication. Before we get started, let's take a look at this week's deliverables. The first is the quiz for the week, followed by the discussion board. What is interpersonal communication? Well, essentially, this covers all of the communication you have with other people. Who are the people we talk to every day? We communicate with acquaintances. We have acquaintances who we do meet every day. We probably know their names, but our interactions are limited. They may be bank tellers, restaurant servers, store clerks, a fellow fan sitting next to us at the game. We also have acquaintances online. On social media, most of our friends are really acquaintances. The text defines friends as people with whom we have voluntarily negotiated a more personal relationship. This sounds quite antiseptic. I like to think of friends as those who, by mutual liking, we've decided to get to know each other better. We've also decided friends are people we will disclose more personal information with. We'll discuss more about that a bit later. The final group of people we talk with and communicate with are intimates. These are close personal friends. These are people we trust with our most confidential information. According to the text, in 2006, only 57% of people reported having at least one intimate relationship beyond family members. Oxford notes, we may have hundreds of Facebook friends, but the number of truly close friends is very small. Trust is a huge factor in intimate relationships. When trust is broken, friendships can be lost. Betraying the trust of a friend is a deal breaker. Friendships and intimate relationships are built on disclosure. There are two models of disclosure in your book, the social penetration theory and the Johari window. Let's look at social penetration model first. This model's been referred to as the onion model. This is because as we disclose more information to others, we share more deeply and allow people to get closer to our core. This is similar to how you can get close to the core of an onion by peeling it. You can see the levels of superficial, intimate, and personal as you approach the core. The Johari window is another approach to the concept of self-disclosure. In this model, you will see there are things that we know and others know. This is your open pane. This part of you is like an open book. There's information we choose not to share with others, and that is our secret pane. This is the confidential information that we don't choose to share with the other person, at least at this stage of the relationship. The blind pane is something that is not known to you, but is known to others, like that kick me sign on your back. The unknown pane is what neither you know nor the other person knows. This may be how you would react in an emergency, or if this relationship will be a lasting one. Our windows change with each relationship. People we are closer to results in a larger open pane and a smaller secret pane. And the other panes will change as well as we go through life and meet other people. Let's talk a bit about sharing personal information. As we are all aware, sharing this type of information is risky. There are people waiting in the tangible world and online to get access to this information and get something for it in return. This equals loss for you. Sometimes this loss can be disastrous. The text offers some excellent disclosure guidelines for you to follow as you decide what to share and what to keep private. How do relationships happen? Well, essentially, they come together in stages. The initial stage is where we actually meet the individual, and then we begin maintaining the relationship. To keep the relationship going, you have to have some relational maintenance, and that is working on your relationship and communicating from time to time, and be willing to sacrifice to keep the relationship in balance. As long as those things are happening, you will have a healthy relationship. When things begin to go bad, you will see decreases in the quantity and quality of communication. This is circumscribing. Then you will see stagnation happening. You go through the motions with no real commitment. Then you begin avoiding one another physically. This is done by moving out or making sure your paths rarely cross. Finally, the relationship may be terminated if the dissolution cannot be stopped. Now let's move on to dialectics. There are 3 dialectics. The first is autonomy and connection, or the desire to do things together or apart. You may want to see a movie and your partner doesn't like, so you go with friends, and your partner has dinner with a neighbor. If you both like the movie, you'll go together. Insisting on doing everything together is not healthy, nor is doing everything without your partner. Balance is the key. Next is openness and closedness. Openness is the sharing of intimate information, and closeness is the desire to maintain your privacy. Again, a balance is what should be strived for in a healthy relationship. The final dialectic is novelty and predictability. Novelty is the desire for originality and freshness in a relationship. Predictability is enjoying things that are consistent, reliable, and dependable. It's difficult to be new and different all the time and to be predictable all the time. Healthy relationships usually have, you guessed it, balance. We can manage dialectical tensions using 4 different strategies. The first is temporal selection. This simply means we'll go to the movie now and later we'll go bungee jumping. You can maintain a relationship by doing different things at different times to keep a balance between what each partner likes to do. The next management technique is topical segmentation. This means you'll discuss certain topics but keep others out of bounds. Perhaps political perspectives are not something you'd share, so you agree not to talk politics. Neutralization is compromising between each partner's desires. Perhaps a couple reaches a balance between doing something novel or predictable. It may not be ideal, but it works for them. Finally, there's reframing. This means one partner changes or reframes the opposing desire so it no longer seems so contradictory in nature. You may look at the concept of autonomy and connection and feel your partner is more autonomous. However, when you do detail it, you find that there are plenty of times when you were autonomous as well. There you have the concept of dialectics and how you can manage them using 4 different techniques. Now let's take a look at conflict and effective ways that you can approach conflict. There are 5 styles of managing conflict. They are avoiding, accommodating, competing, compromising, and collaboration. And we're going to look at each of them in a bit more detail. The first style is to avoid conflict. When we see it, we ignore it and hope it will go away. Unfortunately, the downfall is we're going to have to deal with the issue later on. This is considered a lose-lose strategy. You lose and they lose because the issue never gets resolved and it keeps coming back. The next style is accommodating. This is giving up your interest to the other person. It's unassertive cooperation. This is a you lose, they win strategy. Competing is the third approach. This is a win at all cost strategy. You go all out to crush your opponent. This is a you win, they lose strategy. And it's great in sports, but it's terrible in relationships. This is a strategy that most people will try at some point to get what they want. The fourth strategy is compromise. Some people believe this is the best strategy, but is actually a lose-lose strategy, where both partners give up something to attain a short-term solution. This could be giving up a trip to see your family so your partner can go see their family, and later on you may get something else, but the value may or may not be the same as the underlying issue. is never really resolved. The final strategy is collaborating. This strategy is where you work together for a long-lasting solution to the issue. It takes longer, but in the end is a win-win for both parties. This is what we should all strive for as solutions to our conflicts. There you have the 5 strategies of managing conflict. For one of the discussion questions, you will take the Conflict Management Style Survey and determine your preferred style. You will note if it's a positive style and what you may want to do to change it if it's not. That's a look at interpersonal relationships and communication. Remember to submit your quiz for the week, post to the discussion board by the end of the week. As always, let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you online.